So as the calendar flips to January, workers in 19 states will ring in the new year with raises as the minimum wage rises in those places. Kate Rogers tells us where and by how much.
When do we want it? Now!
2016 was a banner year for wage advocates with major milestones in the fight to raise pay for low-wage workers. Across the country, 19 states will ring in the new year with pay increases on or before January 1st. In addition, nearly 24 cities and municipalities will hike wages, giving some 12 million low-wage workers a raise. Currently, 29 states and Washington, D.C. have wages above the federal floor of $7.25 an hour, a number that hasn't moved since 2009, despite pushes from congressional Democrats and the Obama administration. The new wage increases don't impact that number, but many are significant. For example, workers in Arizona will see a raise of 24% from $8.05 an hour to $10 an hour, while employees in Washington state and Massachusetts will have the highest minimum wages in the country at $11 an hour. Over the next several years, New York and California will increase pay at the state level to $15 an hour, thanks to laws signed in 2016.
I think there was an expectation that not a lot was going to happen in 2016 at the Washington, D.C. level, so there was redoubled focus on the state level. The Fight for 15 campaign has been generating successes. New York State increased the minimum wage for fast food workers in 2015. There was a lot of activity to pass landmark legislation to improve family leave policies. So there's been a lot of focus at the state level. The campaigns are working, and hopefully, progress at that level will continue.
But critics say continued mandatory increases may wind up hurting the nation's smallest companies.
Quite frankly, these are people who have very low margins. Some of them are making 2 to 5% on a dollar of sales, and they cannot pass these increases on to their customers. If they could raise their prices tomorrow to cover these wage increases, obviously they would have raised their prices before they had to. The smart money knows that this causes disemployment and unemployment effects, and I don't think that the politics should trump the economics.
One thing that advocates on both sides of the argument can agree on, there's likely to be little movement at the federal level with Donald Trump in office. Trump spoke out in support of a $10 an hour federal minimum wage on the campaign trail, but with Andy Puzder as his labor secretary nominee and Republicans in control of Congress, an increase from today's $7.25 an hour seems near impossible. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Kate Rogers.